It's your boy, Ed the Dread, aka Eddie Money Mouth, and you are tuned in to the Money Mouth Podcast. Yes, sir. Yeah, welcome back to another Money Mouth Monday. This edition of the Money Mouth Podcast is brought to you by Good Vibes Gear, home of the $20 tee, with free shipping. Get them while they last. GoodVibesGear.com. Yeah. Also, chilling up in EAL, single off of the EP, A Tale of Two Stories by your boy, Ed the Dread. It's probably doing the best on any music video I've ever shot. Like 800 views in a few days. So get out there and run it up, please. Yes, sir. All right. To start off your Money Mouth Monday this week, we are going to give a huge shout out to Baldwin Bears Surf Team, right? The first Maui Interscholastic League surf contest was this past Saturday, and the boys squad, which I coach, got first place, tied for first place. Yeah! And the girls team, which I also coach, got third place. Yeah! Bow! So, pretty dope results for our boys who, a lot of them, it's like their second year competing. First meet of the season, getting the cobwebs out, getting the board under the feet, and they came out with a pretty good result. So shout out to all the homies. Girls squad, we've got a few surfers who have barely ever even competed. Maybe one who's never even competed. So 3 out of 11 or 12 teams, they were pretty ballin' too. So shout out to the high school surf team that I coach, Baldwin High School, baby. We up. Yes, sir. Next shout out will be to myself. Yeah, because I ran my ass off this morning. Holy shit. The Maui 5K was run on Sunday, March something, 3rd, something like that. I did way worse in time and ranking in comparison to the year before. But there was way more wind, and I did a whole lot of crap the day before. It don't even matter. But anyway, I was 17th overall with a 19:26 time, 6:15 miles, I think it was, which I got sub 6 last year. But again, bro, running into the wind, I thought I was going to throw up after the first mile. It's uphill and in the wind for the whole first mile and a half. So whatever. But just, to talk about it, it's like not many people like to run. Not many people like to run far distances, right? I mean, I would consider myself a mid-distance runner, so 5K is like a lot for me. But there's some people who that was like a jog, and they sure as shit made me look like I was jogging, and I can run. So, just get out there and train. Put your goals on something that you like to do and actually work toward it. Because if you don't use it, you lose it. Then that means athletic ability, baby. And I am serious. If you don't use it, you lose it. So keep it up, peeps. I think the number one person who won the freaking race was like a 50 or 60-year-old dude, Sage Sarche. So get out there and make it happen, baby. Run if you got legs, because a lot of people are very sedentary nowadays. Yeah, all right. So we will kick off today's talking and, interesting interaction for the show with our first clip, which is, oh gosh, it's President Biden. Let's just look at it.
And now it is my great honor to introduce the President of the United States, President Joe Biden.
Thank you, Secretary Buttigieg.
Yo, Buddha juice. Now that dude's name, I believe, is Peter, right? Peter Buttigieg, if I pronounce it correctly, but it sure as shit ain't booty juice. Oh man, but that leads me to talk about my middle school panoramic picture. Right, when I was in middle school, we had some funny things that we did, and one of them was just scream out booty juice. It was, I don't know why the hell we did it, but we had a little crew, and like, just in the middle of random shit during school, we go, booty juice. and like, so the panoramic picture for our 8th grade class, like, there was a whole bunch of us doing it, and we were all like in different separate places in the gym in the photo. So they were all like, if you guys don't stop saying this or whatever you're saying, we're gonna Photoshop you out of the picture, and we were all like, whatever the fuck Photoshop is, try it. Oh my gosh. Now it's like you could AI generate somebody and put them in and take them out of a picture and fucking do crazy shit. But yeah, booty juice was a thing we were just saying in middle school. Um, which, leads me to my topic of discussion for this show, which is just teaching in general. How teachers are treated, how, my viewpoint on what the world of teaching is from when I was a student to what it is now. And just maybe some stories from, I'm still friends with some of my teachers. So, but yeah, middle school, that was kind of hectic, but that was probably one of the worst things that I think that myself and my really close friend group did. I mean, there were times where we like maybe threw some food in the PE class or in the lunchroom, or like didn't change for PE. But still participated. It's not like we didn't go running around. We just didn't put on our stupid shorts and t-shirt or whatever for the day. Right. But when it came to just being kind of an asshole in school, that wasn't my routine. The reason why I am a long-term sub teaching math and have been a emergency hire math teacher and things along those lines in the DOE out here in Hawaii is because my 7th grade math teacher was like the coolest motherfucker on earth. All right, I had this teacher, Kevin Bradford, at Rosa Parks Middle School, and he was a brother from DC. So I grew up in Montgomery County, outside of Northwest DC, and this guy would ride his bike to the bus and then take the bus to the county and then hop off and ride his bike to school. And he was the first black teacher that I ever had, one of the first male teachers that I had, one of the only male teachers I ever had in my whole career as a student. But the dude was just cool as hell. He listened to Wu-Tang. He skateboarded. He wore Adidas Forums. It was like we had all this stuff in common. He was just like a grown man, but he loved math. So I was pretty good at math, but he took me like next level. He got me interested in doing like the stock market game in math class. I joined the math team. Literally, I don't think I told anyone about it. Me and one other guy who was on the basketball team, shout out Mike Missouri. We joined the math team, and we were just there because of Mr. Bradford's math. But you'd go to a contest at another school and it'd be you and like 5 people in a room with some huge math equation on the board, and like they'd go, okay, ready, set, bam, and they lift up this thing and you solve the math problem with your homies. So that was like part of my middle school career. But thanks to the middle school math teacher that I had. So, I figured maybe I could do the same thing for some kids, and not saying that I haven't. It's a thing that you water that seed, right? So later on in life, that shit gonna blossom, and hopefully, the way that we're connected now, you can stay in contact with people. Hopefully, maybe one kid later tells me like, "Yo, Mister, you made me like math. That would be really cool," right? But if not, it's all good. What I will say is that like middle school, when we were in middle school, it was like the prep for high school, and then high school was the prep for college. So even back to middle school, all of us that were athletes were already on some like, yeah, I'm gonna do better than him. I'm gonna do better than him. I'm gonna go to a better college than him. Like we were super competitive, even with your best friends. Like I don't even remember being like, hey, let's go to the same college. You'd be like, I'm gonna go to a better college than you, and y'all best friends. So we were middle school athletes, and then going into high school just as like athletics is what we're gonna do, and that was the preparation. So there are a lot of good athletes out here, and I subbed in middle school as well. I ref the middle school soccer league, so there's a lot of good middle school athletes out here. But there seems to just be like a disconnect between, being an athlete and trying to stay on top of school and like wanting to go to college. And I don't know where that happens, but, there also seems to possibly be a disconnect with just respecting someone who's in the classroom, like at all. So like I said, like Mr. Bradford was the man in middle school. I mean, we sure as hell had teachers that, you know, like we could tell they might not have liked the job, or, just like how the kids here will like, in 1 week, these kids can tell what's up with you, and I'm sure that was the same deal with us. Right. But when it came to dealing with the teachers, it's not like you fucking made their life horrible. Like if you didn't like the person, you just fucking whatever. You just turned their homework in half done, or you like it's not like you were fucking screaming at them and throwing rocks at their windows, like shit that happens to me. So it's like there was much. I don't know. There was much more respect for just the people who were teachers. Um, I mean, it's the society is completely different now. I mean, cell phones and just the ability to see anything that people do and, you know, like make it popular, whatever people are doing, or make it a trend, whether it's positive or negative, is definitely a huge difference in society nowadays. But just in general, the respect, like, I feel like it's gone. So Mr. Bradford was a guy that I don't think that I ever got to really thank him, because in that time in life, it's like you move to high school, you're doing your thing, you're not really going back to middle school for shit or whatever. But throughout my high school career, there were teachers that were like actual really cool humans, and I befriended a number of them. And it's not like you were like their friend in high school, but it was just a person you respected, they respected you. You had this pretty mutual relationship as a teacher student, and then when you graduate and you become like just a regular adult person and you see them in society, or you go back to visit them, or you just stay in contact with them because they were a cool ass person, right? This shirt right now that I have on from Portugal, big wave spot, Nazare, this was bought at the break by my ceramics teacher in high school, who I'm still friends with, who sent the shit to me here on Maui. Right? So I had a ceramics teacher, shout out Kathleen Mulholland, Mahala Mahan. I freaking have a tattoo that I tattooed myself on a Tattoo Tuesday, to commemorate our relationship. She's the fucking coolest teacher I ever had. Ceramics was a class that I really liked. I was into art, maybe not the best artist, but really loved ceramics, loved to make pots, be on the wheel, just create. And she was the person who was able to foster that. She was the field hockey coach. So after you sprain your ankle or something, like my coach didn't know what the hell was going on. We didn't have trainers back then. Nowadays, every school's got like multiple athletic trainers. Like we didn't have no trainers. It was like you just show up and play. So either you had a brace or someone taped your ankle. So, Mulholland taped your ankle if you needed it. All the teams had pretty good relationships, so like we would go to their games and just like make choke noise, like their players would come to our games and make noise. So it was like she was just a really cool person, a person that like gave you the freedom to be who you were and didn't like disrespect you, no matter like what you did. Again, not saying we were all perfect students. There are times where you might have gotten in trouble. There are times where you might have showed up late and had to like knock on the window, like, yo, can you come open the door? But it wasn't like an everyday thing, right? It wasn't like I'm skipping class every day. And, again, there was a mutual respect, right? Which I'm a high school teacher right now. And I'm going to tell you this, and I'm not going to say 100%, right? But I'll give like 30 to 40% of people just don't give a fuck about the teacher anymore. And I don't mean even just the student. Like I'll put the parent that goes along with them. Not sure if it was COVID and because all the school went online and like people believe that, it's just, you could just do it online. I don't need this guy or this lady in the class. Like, why would I need them when I could just do it online? But again, in the second podcast or third podcast that I did, I spoke about using algebra to, reach my goals in life, become a professional soccer player, and I've used it for a lot of other tasks. But without a person, fostering that like for math, and without people showing you the way that, you learn the best, it's going to be difficult. Right? Like when information is just put on a laptop screen, like if you don't understand it, most people, I mean, we've got math programs where it gives you hints. You do it on your own. You click hint. You can watch a whole video, and it's still, is sometimes trying. So there's, there's something to say about a human being there that's able to convey the information to you. Being there one on one to help you if you have the guts to raise your hand and be like, hey, come over and help me one on one. Right. But nowadays it's trying. I mean, personally, I deal with fucking my door being kicked shut, like rocks being thrown, people screaming at you, cursing at you. I mean, out of, I'd say 5 class periods a day I have, I would say that 3 to 4 every day I get yelled at. For sure, 3 out of 5 walked out on. No one puts their phones away. It's very trying because I'm the type of person that's very attentive. So, if I'm in a meeting or if I'm sitting there with someone and having a conversation with them, like my phone's not there. Like I'm not looking at the computer screen. Like I'm not doing something. Like I'm engaged with you. Right. So as the person leading, like giving the lesson and or just helping progress what's going on in class, if you're not looking, that's one thing. You're just like, all right, you're not looking. Well, it's like either you disrespect or you don't care. It's just like you're in another world. Add to that there's laptops and other stuff that you can deal with, and or phone. So it's just like once you take away like looking at the thing that's going on and now you're just doing something else. I mean, I would go to say even having your phone on your desk is like a slap in the face to the person who is teaching, right? Or if you're in a business scenario, and you're in a meeting and you come into the meeting on Monday morning for the week and the manager's giving the whole rundown for the week and you're just sitting there with your phone on the thing and your coffee. Everyone else got their note. They're taking notes. They're fucking engaged. And you're sitting there like with your phone flipped up, like looking to see if you got an Instagram notification, So when it comes to that aspect, it's super trying. And I wouldn't doubt that it's also in the modern workplace. Right. But I'm just not the person who's in the modern workplace. Right. And to tell you the modern DOE, I'm pretty much over too. Coaching's it, boo. And you'll see me on the field. Oh my gosh. But one last thing I will touch on is that the nostalgia of notes. Okay. If you're like, I don't know, I'd say maybe like 37 or older or something, you was born like mid 80s and earlier, then you remember writing a note to someone, right? This whole text message, send a Snapchat, do live, do a FaceTime, like that. We've lost the notes, bro. I remember you write a note, you maybe even use some different color pen. You be fucking learning origami to fold it up and give it to whoever. I mean, it's usually you write it to a girl or whatever, you know what I'm saying? You ain't really handing your homie a note. But like, I do specifically recall at some point when I was like cleaning all my stuff out in college, like, oh, this high school shit, I had like a shoebox with like fucking all the notes I was written from like all my girlfriends and shit. It was just like hilarious because I'm telling you, like, you get good at folding shit, better than you could ever imagine. So that's also a lost thing in nowadays in school and with cell phones and technology. But that was your Money Mouth podcast. All right. Again, Ed the Dread here, touching a little bit about the school community and Pete Buttigieg. Booty juice. Oh, bless you, be the best you. Get out there and run, get out there and serve, get out there and be active, all right? Be a mentor to somebody and respect your elders, all right? Because they've been on earth longer than you and, most of them actually care. They just might have a weird way of getting the information and showing their love to you, all right? Catch you next Monday. Hoo-wee-ho, kako.